Hello everyone, and welcome to Sussex Champions, the podcast where royal headlines meet cultural reality, and where glossy press releases don't get a free pass. I'm Mark, your host, and today we're diving into a story that made me blink twice, sip my coffee slowly, and say, Yes, that Prince Harry has been announced as a headline speaker to Global Privacy Summit. Take a breath, let it settle, because there's a lot to unpack here. So the headline first. Prince Harry has been confirmed as a keynote speaker at the International Association of Privacy Professionals Global Summit 2026, happening March 30th through April 2nd in Washington, D.C. The timing? Impeccable. The announcement was dropped to coincide with Data Privacy Day, because of course it was. Nothing says, "We planned this carefully," like syncing a royal reveal to an awareness holiday. According to the organisers, Harry will speak on reshaping the future of the digital world. That's ambitious, vague, lofty, very summit-coded. And yes, this means Harry will be flying back to Washington, D.C., a city he seems increasingly comfortable using as a second global stage. Harry's keynote will reportedly explore whether modern digital technology is uniting society or tearing it apart, and what role individuals can play in shaping the future of the online world. On paper, that's a solid topic. The summit itself focuses on data privacy, AI governance, cybersecurity legislation, and the ethical frameworks shaping the digital age. Serious stuff, highly technical, very policy-heavy. Which brings us to the first quiet question no one wants to ask out loud. What exactly is Prince Harry bringing to this conversation that hasn't already been said by legal scholars, technologists, or privacy professionals? He's not a policy architect. He's not a tech founder. He's not a privacy lawyer. What he is, according to the organisers, is a humanitarian mental health advocate, environmentalist and military veteran. All true, all respectable, all adjacent to the actual work being done in this space. Now, let's address the elephant in the digital room. Harry and Meghan's critics love to shout, "But he wrote a memoir." She gave interviews. They're always talking about themselves. And honestly, that argument is lazy. Wanting privacy does not mean wanting silence. Advocating for digital safety doesn't mean living in a cave without Wi-Fi. That said, and here's where we go slightly against Prince Harry, the optics are complicated. When someone who has published deeply personal details for profit, monetized trauma through media partnerships, strategically curated public narratives, positions himself as a moral voice on privacy, it's fair to ask whether this is advocacy, branding, or a carefully blended mix of both. That doesn't make the cause invalid, but it does make the messenger debatable. The IAPP describes Harry as a respected voice on global issues, citing his appearances at the United Nations General Assembly and the Clinton Global Initiative. And yes, those stages are real. But let's be honest, those invitations came with a title attached. The lingering question is whether Harry is now being booked for his expertise, or simply because his name guarantees headlines, clicks, and packed auditoriums. There's nothing inherently wrong with celebrity advocacy. But when summits like this start to feel more like TED Talks with tiaras, credibility can quietly erode. And finally, the royal subplot we can already see coming. Just watch, as Harry prepares to speak in Washington, expect a flurry of palace engagement, strategic scheduling from Prince William. Possibly even murmurs about King Charles and state visit priorities. And then, inevitably, the narrative will flip. How dare Harry steal attention? Why is he speaking in Washington? Why does he always overshadow the monarchy? Never mind that he no longer represents the institution. Never mind that this is a private summit. The old rivalry script will write itself again. So where does that leave us? Prince Harry speaking on digital privacy isn't ridiculous, but it isn't uncomplicated either. The cause is valid, the platform is prestigious. The optics, however, remain layered. And maybe that's the real story here. Not whether Harry belongs on that stage, but how modern activism, celebrity and credibility continue to blur in the digital age. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow, subscribe and share Sussex Champions wherever you get your podcasts. I'll see you next time when we separate the headlines from the substance.